You want to start, Livy?
I kind of did already. Yeah, I'm just feeling cozy here. I'll pass to Santi.
Well, I'm not feeling too well today. I have a stomach ache all day, but hopefully it should get better as hours go by. I'll pass it to Septimus.
Yeah, for me it's all right. Like, yeah, I've been like, I just go to work the morning, then I was home, then I prepare something to eat and play some video games, and now I'm here, full energy. And I'll pass it to Griff, who just jumped. We are doing, it's just a check-in. Like, how are you doing? And yeah, how are you right now?
I'm doing great, feeling good, excited. Back to back meetings all day today, but they're all really fun and easy, so it's nice. I got a salad in front of me, and I'm excited for the onboarding call. I'll pass it to Livia.
I went already. I'll pass to Tim.
I feel great. That's it. Feel really good. I'll pass it to Ruben.
I'm doing great as well. I'm on the move, ready to go to the Caribbean, to my hometown, or home island. So I'm preparing for that. And I'll pass it to Santi.
Jessica's turn. I already went. Thank you, Ruben.
Oh no, what's the question? Hey guys.
Just check in.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, really good. I just finished my meditation, so I feel super chill and ready to get stuff done. Griff and I were up quite well. I don't know how late Griff was up, but we were working till pretty late last night for Gitcoin grants. But yay! Alrighty, I'm not sure who's gone, but Tamara looks like she wants to go.
I already went, but I'll add one thing. It's poker night. If anyone wants to play poker tonight on Funvala, please join us.
Do you have to have hands to do it?
You just have to be a human. They use circles, UBI.
What if I'm an alien?
Aliens are welcome.
Do you need to really know how to play poker?
No. It's just fun.
We have Durgadas sorry, Durgadas, welcome. You are the only one last to say hello and how are you? Hello, Dan.
Hey.
All right. Let's start. So for today, I wrote everything manually, so I will add a later to notes or like the call notes. I'm still getting to the process of how to keep track of everything. There are a few things I would like for us to have a conversation today. Regarding the past week, we held meetings with Jessica and Tamara regarding basically the GitHub reorganization and science and how we can accomplish certain stuff. And alongside Tamara, we also worked on some steps within the GitHub issues to understand how they rolled. And with Jessica, we also work on a little bit of a correlationship with comms in the sense of the forum and how the forum we will have like a welcoming kind of section for new people, and we created, and we're still in the process of filling the forums and the posts that are there. We also talk about how we do a certain like public call, two public calls, one for filling issues, the call for in the Discord channels, in the Telegram channels, people who can be or propose or to be part of the hatchers. So that was another thing that was proposed last week. I don't know if I'm missing something, Tamara or Jessica. And what just happened? Just having a brief catch up with the things that we talked last week. So if you want to fill in.
Not really too much more. I mean, just there's a lot to do. So I feel like, Eduardo, for me, I wanted to reach out to you. Yesterday was pretty crazy, but yeah, I just think we need to do work sessions as much as possible, even 30 minutes a day or an hour a day, to just keep hacking, because there's quite a lot to do. But yeah, it feels like the priority is having a better onboarding information. So I know we're all working on that, but maybe too, like, there's so many things going on, we can just focus on one thing a week. Like, we do every day 30 minutes till we get that done, like the forum onboarding. I mean, it's the most important, no matter if we're onboarding hatchers, proposers, we need like that core, easy to understand, what are we doing, how can you join. So yeah, I'm down for a work session today on that.
Perfect. Livy, yes?
Yeah, I just want to add something on that, let me show here. I'm working on this, just separating all the resources, and the ones from the onboarding working group were like very all over the place. So now they're all here. We just need to see if we can find all the interviews, if they got lost, if some of them got lost because they're not all in this folder. But I think it's like a base already for us to understand what has been done and how to move forward. And also, the idea of this is to have all the resources for all the working groups, so we can make different forum posts based on what we talked last time. One for each working group, so people can continue to add resources, or we can make them just a place for arrival, not so much for comments or notes on what's happening on the working groups, but just as like, oh, if you want to jump into SoftGov, you can like see all that is going on here. If you want to jump in onboarding, all that is going on here. And then I started this list to map all the contributors, not only like all of the people that are in our ecosystem and their handles, what working groups they are active on. Like so far we've been, I just put like contributors here, but I'm hoping we can make we can put the stakeholders in the same list, so we would have like in one place all of the people, and adding stakeholders as a role to this to the sense making, and then some notes on how was the onboarding, onboarded by who, what is the name of the person. So maybe we can all of us that already onboarded someone, we could add them to this list.
Craig has another sheet.
Quick question.
Might need to be combined with that.
Yeah. Quick question, Livy. So if I go down the document I share, I can forget about any other documentation regarding onboarding that has like that. Is that filtered, or is it still to be filtered? The links that you put on that Google Docs.
It cut a little bit what you said. Can you repeat, please?
Yes, I meant to say that if links are that Google Docs are the ones that are needed for, or the ones that are filtered for the onboarding. So if I see any other link somewhere else, I will like completely ignore it and will stay to these links, or they are not. That everything is there.
Yeah, everything is there, and maybe it is important for everything to be there, just as a matter of documentation. But then the idea is that when we pass to the forum, to have like, these are the active documents, and these are the just the historical documents. And then people can look at the historical ones, but they know that we are working on the certain ones.
Can we just have small two categories that says like sort of to be complete documents and completed documents? So I can we can have these two categories to know which one to be still to be done, and also to and probably when we have duplicates or this kind of stuff that usually happens, we have the same information but written in different tone or different same whatever. So we can actually start filling the onboarding forum group, which is what is I think the documentation is mainly to. Second question, is that list that you have filtered with Craigslist, or is it just your own list?
Yeah, all of them are here. The list Craig had was a little incomplete, and I thought it was more confusing to have in the drive than having them all in one list that we can transfer to the forum in the same structure, like that all of working groups would have a similar structure. So I grabbed the ones Craig had and put in there too. So there should be all of them there now.
I'm a little confused. This is to track
Okay, great.
people like working groups only, or everyone that's new that's coming if we've onboarded them or not?
Oh, I think we were talking about two different things. So there is one list of resources that will help people to see what's going on, and then the list of contributors. I was thinking everyone, like if we can have a database of everyone that was onboarded, everyone that is participating, everyone that we want to onboard as a stakeholder. So to put stakeholder as a new role, then we can identify them there.
Okay,
Yeah, I guess
shall
just
we?
Sorry, just one more note on the tracking. There are actually two sheets right now as well that Craig made. One is with personal private information that's permissioned. And then there's another one that's the clean version of that we can open to the community, like I sent the other day. So I think this whole thing needs a solution. And maybe also Durgadas is looking into a CRM HubSpot. This could maybe be a better tracking, but that's maybe a later iteration. But yeah, we definitely need to sort this out because now we just need to have like one place. So it's not a big deal, just like combine them or whatnot.
Yeah, oh, okay, there is another list then. I couldn't find any, but we could, I think it could be good to have like, yeah, you're right about the sensitive information. Maybe we can keep this list with the community steward group. The one, we could have just one list, but then we keep within the group. And then maybe there is some type of agreement with the community stewards that is sensitive information and that can't be shared.
It's possible.
And also we
within,
have, yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Durgadas.
Sorry, I thought you were done. It's possible within HubSpot, if you create them as somebody who is in your CRM, you can then sort of designate different roles. You can create situations where you would understand what role they're fulfilling. So if you have different sets of roles for people such as developers or stakeholders or participants or whatever structure you want to put in place, that can be sort of done within the context of that. And then that would be held in a separate place than the rest of the information I think that you're attempting to work out. You can just basically link the people together.
Okay. So I'm trying to understand something. Have you made the issue on GitHub regarding this list, Ivy? Or is it closed, or is blocked, or just?
Yeah, there is an issue for this list. I didn't update it yet, but it is there. But then if there is another list, I'll add something to that issue that we need to find a solution for combining all of them.
And I think honestly that's something Craig would be happy to do. He's really good at this back end organizing, so you could just hand it to him if you're busy, Livy, or if you want to do it either way. But
yeah, I think
All right.
I think everyone who onboard. Just last thing on that. Sorry, Eduardo. I think everyone who onboarded someone should add the people that they are onboarded to this list so we can have the notes. I think it would be important for us because this is a very internal communication of like who I onboarded and how was this relationship. Because I was hoping that like, oh, maybe if we have a list of everyone, like even now I'm seeing, oh, there was this person that said they were very interested, but then I never touch base again. So maybe it could be a good time to touch base again. And then we could have like insights from everyone in a place. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, HubSpot's ideally suited
Yes.
for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was going to suggest, Livy, and to everyone that probably what we do, because we have a list of possible hatchers or a list of possible proposals, which is within the correct list. So what we can do actually is to, in your list, Livy, is to everyone who follows up, maybe not the one who onboarded, but the one who follows up, or how we start the communication with that person, to keep that sheet as a tracking for like it's a hatcher, it's a proposal, or you want to keep it separately. I don't know, but like to keep this track of these people in a single place. For me, I think it's easier. We can divide it or have different pages within the same document. But to have all this, like not only onboarding someone from the beginning, but also because now I think what will be the next step is we will have this list will be divided, and you will pick from 1 to 5, we will pick 5 to 10. We will take these people, we will follow them, and or vice versa, will reach us. It would be nice to have this document saying, okay, this person was already on board, or he decided to be a hatcher, or this person was. I don't know if it makes sense to you.
You're breaking up a lot, Eduardo, so it's hard to hear you. Maybe turn off your video or something.
Okay, I will disconnect and be right back. Give me a second.
Livy, thanks for identifying that gap. I feel like that's been there, but I forgot about it totally, and it's really important. So.
I actually didn't even know people were being tasked with onboarding people.
Yeah, it's been something we kind of dropped a little bit because of everything going on. But yeah, I guess the spreadsheet can be iteration 1, and then Durgadas, you can just keep us posted how it goes with you and Chris with the HubSpot discussions. Then we'll get fancy later. But we'll have the spreadsheets anyway.
Can you hear me better now? Okay, thanks to the Lord. So I don't know. I will repeat myself the last part. I don't know if it makes any sense, but I will repeat it again. Basically, I just mentioned the fact to have on your list, Livy, to add all the people. Like if we follow up someone, for example, from the Craig list, and we say, and because Craig mentioned in the last meeting that he has been texting and he still keeps a sort of relationship with the people from his list, and he has been like keeping them informed about the processes and stuff. So there will be people who will be interested, and if that person gets assigned or that person gets followed up by, let's say, Jessica, so Jessica add that person to your list, and we have a list of what is the status of the people who has been decided to be onboarded. So it could be a stakeholder, it could be a hatcher, it could be a proposal, it doesn't matter. But to keep this sort of everything information of people who we care more or who we like have to be tracking constantly, or the people who needs to be notified like, hey, this is gonna be a test. Do you wanna be part? Do you wanna take care? Do you wanna blah, blah. So that was my proposal, to use your list as a centralized kind of space where we can find and keep track of the people we are onboarding constantly.
Yeah, sounds good.
My second question for this meeting is to create.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I jump in after?
Sorry.
It's okay. I wanted to let that conversation finish. Can I just share my screen for a minute? just to what you said, we had a good session last week, I think, and there's clearly a lot of work that is being done in this group, and I just want to say when just to provide an overview of making sure we're working on the right things in this sprint and in the right order, and also so we can sort of roll up a higher level picture. When we look in zenhub, if we filter by onboarding working group and critical to hatch, it really looks like there's not much happening, and I think that's not true at all. I think there's a lot more that's going on in this group than what we actually can see right now. So like if I look at this, there's really not much that the onboarding working group is doing that's critical to hatch, and I know that's completely not true. So if you are working on, there's a lot of onboarding working. If you are working on issues, and they are critical to hatch, can you take some time as you're working on them to label them critical to hatch, so that we know that these things are going to prevent the hatch if they're not getting done? Cool. Okay, that's it.
I feel like part of what's missing
to that tool, please.
Can you say that again?
I was just asking if I could get access to that or something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's where's the best place for me to drop this? It's open to everybody to view.
Yeah, Durgadas, just send me your GitHub handle or your email and I'll add you.
Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. And yeah, I feel like what's missing is a lot of, like, Eduardo, you and I went over all the issues, but they're not really assigned to people except for you and me. Do you have like a priority list of like the top issues, or is it helpful if we, because I feel like there's all these little things that need attention, but like this high level, what are we doing? What are the priorities? And I feel like Eduardo, you and I are assigned to like every single project. So maybe we ask for help on a couple of things, or like we look together and identify critical to hatch and just make sure like that these tasks are actually assigned, that they're actually there. And, or I don't know if you want to, how you want to do this meeting, but I feel like that would actually be really helpful, because for me too, I like kind of lose sight. It happened to me in comms that like, what is going on actually? And like, do we need to delegate some stuff or?
Yeah, that would be the ideal scenario. That was the second part of the meeting, to like understand. We're talking about the last work session we did about commitments, and trying to understand realistically with what we can count on, without any pressure, without any problem if someone cannot do it or can. It's just to understand how we divide the work. Mainly because, for example, for me, the priorities were having the documentation ready, having a place where to put that documentation or present it, and then secondly the template for hatchers and proposals. That mainly for proposals. So for me, those were the two main priorities at the moment. Clearly, for example, Livy did the first part of the first one, so the rest is just a matter of execution of putting it up in the forum. That can be done by, aesthetically, can be done by everyone. It's a simple task. Then the template task or the hatcher task, I will just open the table for if someone wants to make a work session with any of us to do it. If someone has previous experience with doing something similar, I don't know, guys. You tell me.
For the hatchers, I'm definitely down to support in that role, and make sure we have a path for that. But maybe I misheard. We're talking about projects first.
Yes, ideally, the first one will be the template for proposals. Because when we had this conversation with you, Griff, you mentioned that proposals were the main thing first, and then eventually the hatcher. I don't know if that changed, but I'm putting the priority as for the template for the proposals.
Is there an issue for that?
Yes, there is an issue for that.
Sorry, what number? Do you know the number? Is it
You got me off guard. You got me off guard. Give me a
Sorry
second.
about that. Is
Is
it
this
tree?
Is it the one to list TE projects that might want to submit proposals to the TEC, number 68?
I'm looking for the 68.
Oh,
Or if it's the
developing.
template, then it's 153.
The template, 153, yes.
153.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So sorry, but I have my HubSpot hat on, and I know HubSpot does ticketing as well. Are you guys tracking issues in a separate area that I'm just not aware of? And would it make sense to have all of these different activities in one tool?
It's going to be hard to get out of GitHub at this point. But
It's GitHub
yeah.
that you're tracking everything in?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I heard Zen something too, so I was not sure.
Oh, zenhub is just an app on top of GitHub, but it's basically GitHub.
Okay.
Did you find it, Griff?
Well, so I found 79.
No, 153 should be the one. So going back to that, besides Griff, who else wants to be part of the working session for creating the templates or have any previous experience regarding that?
Yeah, I'm in too. I think I'm a little confused with the board because I do have issues that I'm working on for onboarding, but then I can't add them to this board. I'll figure it out here.
Okay.
Liv, I'm happy to if you want to have a private session, we find 30 minutes or something to go through it together, or should we work it out now? But I think maybe it's worth us doing a 30-minute zenhub demo together.
That's the first part. So regarding the forum post, is anyone I'm a forum geek, so I can do the forum without any issue. But if someone wants to join up and help me to fill along Jessica, or if someone from comms wants to join, it's also more than welcome.
That's me. I think it's really important. Yeah, no, that's what I said. That's the most thing. That's the one thing I would love to get done this week. Like, let's just knock it out, whatever it takes.
Perfect. That's regarding that.
I wouldn't mind being part of any onboarding thing, because since I'm so new to everything and seeing it with fresh eyes, it might be useful.
It would be nice, Durgadas, if you help us with the documentation forum thing, because since it is for everyone who is new, you in the process of doing it with us, you will probably get into more. If you okay.
Yeah, that would help me as well. Onboard myself.
Great. Today, let's see. Oh, today's Wednesday. Yeah. I'm free after this meeting or after 2 hours later at noon PST. I'm good after this.
In 2 hours, you said?
Either after this meeting, straight after this meeting, or in 2.5 hours.
In 2.5 hours for me, it's okay.
So 12 PST, 9 your time?
Yes.
Durgadas, are you good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Noon, meet back here. Onboarding hack session.
Yeah. Right.
What is it that you guys are thinking for the forum?
So we started already. We were gonna make like a welcome category and then do almost like a little quest where it's like step 1, do that, or like welcome, and then like a message, and then like why we're here, how you can contribute. Just do like a little post for each section, and then have like kind of carrots that lead through them, and then also have it lead to dishing praise or getting praised and rewarded for each step. Like, reply to this post. I don't know. We're gonna figure something out that it's kind of like we're gonna try to do the like coolest little thing we can do on the forum of like a quest.
Cool.
Okay.
And while we're on the scheduling thing, should we? It sounds like we need a form for proposals to submit to if they want to apply to receive funding. Is this?
What do you mean?
So like, well, I'm looking at issue 153, and it says which form app create templates for hatchers and proposals to use to submit. So we're expecting to just, we can kind of hand someone a form, like a type form link, and say, hey, fill this out, and then we'll get some information from someone who wants to propose to the TEC.
Yeah, I guess you mean rather like there's I think a form would be better, because right now it's like go to the forum and use this template and you have no idea. But if it's like an inbound of fill out this form and then we are able to reach out, having the information, onboard them properly, and then guide them to submitting the proposal in the forum and the DAO. I think that's a really good idea. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm reading in the issue.
Would you want to, like, we could put that everywhere too. We could have it on the forum. We could have it. Yeah, I guess still it's a good idea and definitely it's needed, but I feel like we still are missing like this higher level journey mapping a bit of what the expectation is for like the funnel or the process.
Now, I was able just to kind of drop into the Discord and just sort of listen and look, and I didn't particularly find anybody or anything there that was yelling at me to say, hey, this is the thing you should do first, because I just was completely lost and didn't know where I was. So it could be that when you sign up for the Discord that, we create some kind of thing that makes it clear that you should go through this journey that we're going to set up first.
Yeah, part of that issue is like we are in the TE Discord and it's super like unorganized and all over the place. So we're working on a new Discord that hopefully is going to be done in the next couple of weeks, where we will have like only one channel open to them. There's certain things you can do, so they have to do these certain steps before they can access the other channels. Yeah. One of them is verify that they're not a spam bot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and the other thing was that we talked about that with Jessica is to have on the forum. Then the first thing you arrive to the forum is immediately linked to the welcoming post to create a gamifying process, similar or related to praise, maybe, that if the person finished all this onboarding process, he gets a praise, for example. We were just trying out or talking. It is easy for someone to get into the system.
I think for the proposal session, we need to have a little explainer of why the proposals are there right now and where are we going after, because like the way I understand it is that people will submit to the forum now, and then once like after the hatch, they will be able to just post that link and actually submit the proposal. So maybe having an explanation of the rationale of like having all the proposals now, because we all want to understand as a community all the projects that like what is the TEC, what are we about, and then that people will be able to like actually submit these proposals to the DAO after.
Yeah, that was going to be part of like the quest flow, is like how to submit a proposal and why, and then it leads you to other things. So
can I ask just a clarifying question for myself? In this working group, in this onboarding working group, I know that we're definitely working towards the onboarding of new projects and proposals and onboarding of new hatchers. It also sounds like we're also working towards onboarding contributors in other ways as well, participants, community stewards, this kind of thing. Is that accurate?
I heard that too.
Okay, I think that's what I thought. I guess the question I'm going to ask is can we prioritize those three?
Yes, the priority right now is to onboard proposals and hatchers. Is not to the priority right now is not to be a welcoming guide for everyone who joins the EC. Right now, it could be later, but right now that's not the priority. The priority is to onboard the people who are needed for the hatch. That's the priority. As I'm not wrong. I may be.
I think it goes hand in hand because all the stuff that we need for the hatchers and the proposers, we also need for everyone. So I think it's kind of like 2 for 1. It's actually good. We can accomplish like a lot of the same things. And a lot of it's like, we need our own Discord. That's part of the huge reason. I think that's kind of a...
I would be careful not to have too much scope. You know, it's really nice to just have a focus, you know, like this week, the onboarding group is focused on onboarding proposals. And that's it, you know, nothing else. Discord, yeah, you know, the comms is working on that. Community stewards are working on onboarding everybody, you know, but onboarding group, we need to get some proposals on the forum and however we get to do that. Like as a flag.
Okay. Is there anything else regarding this part? We have assigned, we have like sort of make a schedule for the work session, and we can keep doing the work sessions. The template session, we haven't scheduled a template session, so we can either leave it once we have finished the forum part, and then we can reach back to Livy, for example, who wanted to help with that, and Griff too. Or you want to schedule it you want to schedule it now? Just asking.
I don't know if you guys can stay after and work in this work session today in an hour and a half or 2 hours and a half at noon PST, but maybe you guys could do that while we're doing this. You mean the proposal template? Like, we already have a template, and I don't think it needs to be that, like, we could actually use it as it is. I don't think there's anything wrong with the template. So I think that's iteration 1. We don't need any more work on that. Like, the template's beautiful. It's more the walkthrough and like the focus on the project. So maybe instead of doing more editing of this template, it's actually fine. What about, we need projects to submit. Right now, we only have like our same friends, T Academy, T Book, who actually may not even submit because now they're kind of whatever's going on with them. So what if somebody scours Gitcoin grants? Because that's where all the TE people are submitting. If somebody, maybe Craig will do it because he really loves Gitcoin, or Griff and Livy, instead of doing more on the proposal. What if we just scour Gitcoin grants and look for TE projects and make friends with them and bring them in and like add them to the list and start reaching out to them? Because I feel like I sent out that post yesterday. I haven't looked at the doc, but like, hey, people, do you know any projects? And it's kind of funny that like, we're going to have this pot of money and like, you know, no one's lining up. It's like, hey, there's money. So maybe we're going to have to go and like pull people from Gitcoin grants, and even Radical Exchange. Like, are they doing token engineering? I don't know. Some of these other groups, but I feel like Gitcoin's like, I realized this morning I had a stroke of like a lightning moment of like, oh, just scour Gitcoin grants. That's where all of our people are. And just reach out to them.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, but then
I just have one more question.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just trying to organize the timeline in my mind. Can the proposals still come after we hatch? Can people still submit proposals, or is the hatch like the cutoff for submitting proposals?
People can submit after, but we need to have like a good base to choose from. So people can be like, so then it makes sense for the hatchers to come in too, right? Like it doesn't really make sense to like, if you're a hatcher, like I'll put my money in and we'll see what happens. It's more attractive if, oh, there's a bunch of these proposals that I want to fund. And wow, how cool is it that I can put money in, get more money back, and fund those projects? You know, that's That's the click.
The goal is 15 to 20. I'd say right now we're at like 3, maybe. But
Yeah, from Jonas' research, there is at least 5 to 6 that were shown interest. They just didn't know what was the next step, so we would just have to reach them out again, and I think they should be fine. And then we have Craigslist, where he has told us that people were interested also. So I don't know why you're laughing, Tamara.
Craigslist. It's a website.
Yeah,
I was
Craigslist.
laughing too.
Yeah, I keep
But yeah,
getting
I
that
feel like
too.
for me, I haven't had time to go into the stakeholder research. There's gold in there. Eduardo, no, I don't know if you had time. We were discussing a summary, but maybe it's not necessary. Maybe we go through in the work session together and just like pull stuff out of there, because that's like our gold mine that we haven't even touched, even before we go to Gitcoin or whatever.
What Eduardo said about, we talked to some projects, but they didn't know what was the next step. I think I'm feeling a huge anxiety around this, because I feel like even if we talk to projects right now, what is that we're showing them? And I thought that was the onboarding guide. That was the like, even for the projects, we need to have some type of presentation of what is the TEC. And in my opinion, this is the most urgent to be worked on. So we're not like burning bridges with people that we are like rushing to talk to, but we actually have a very solid something to show them, like, hey, we want you to come here because we are doing this with this purpose. And after the hatch, you will be able to do this with the proposal that you're submitting, because we care about your project in this way. And this is like the clarity that is missing for me right now. And that's why I'm trying to organize the resources, because I think all that is happening in the cultural build is a big part of this presentation, and we need a TLDR for sure. But maybe this TLDR, it's something more like the Medium post that we had for like kicking off the TE Commons, that is now like, oh, after this kickoff, like, look how much it happened, and here's where we are, and that's why we need you right now. So I feel like this piece has to come first before reaching out to more projects.
Yes, regarding that topic, was my next question, because I feel, at least myself, I'm missing out a little bit of practical information rather than conceptual information that I have right now regarding the process. So that's why I was going to ask Griff about the test status that we were going to launch last week. I don't know if it launched. I have zero clue about it.
Did not. It's going to launch on Thursday, tomorrow, hopefully.
Okay, so the idea for me was to, from that test, to get information that probably most of people will ask about the process. So for me, the ideal scenario will be we either create content from that test, or we either ourselves get full knowledge of the practical aspects, or the questions, or the errors, or the mistakes that they may found, so we can actually guide them through if it's necessary. Because I have the same issue, Livy, that there is like, okay, there is a like weird moment after you onboard someone that is like, okay, fine, where do I do this, or where do I put this information, what is the next step? Like, that's the part that with the documentation, for me, that's why it is the priority, documentation process, because this is part of the documentation.
Okay, so it's very clear. This week, which is only like 2.5 more days, we focus only on whatever this nugget is that we are missing. And maybe it's, again, I like your idea, Livy, to do like a follow-up blog post to the kickoff, because that's what I'm still sending people. Because that's the only thing I'm thinking, like, oh, this is where everything is. So let's focus just on that. And then when we finish that, then we can next week focus on projects. But yeah, I think it's just that overwhelm. And like, Tamara, I love what you've been doing, but I hope this doesn't hurt you when I say, let's just forget the GitHub right now and let's just do this one thing, because I feel like it's, that's what we need, because there's so much going on. Like, this is onboarding week, like, fix the one nugget. like one-stop shop or whatever we're gonna do.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think that it just like I guess my feeling is that just one nugget should just be one issue, and that's what everyone is focused on. GitHub doesn't have to be populated with 10 issues. It's not a matter of the quantity of issues. It's just a matter of like the functionality, and the functionality is like prepare for the proposals to come in, and that could just be like the subject line, and then just like everyone's all hands on that.
Yeah, because it's been like, oh no, I better make an issue for this thing so I don't forget it. And then it's like been a lot of trying to organize the work and then, just doing it as it comes up or something, maybe.
Okay. Griff, one question. It will be notified on the Discord or somewhere when the test launch.
It should just happen tomorrow during the call. I can check to see if there's like any
Maybe
news in the Gardens forum, but
I feel like too having a walkthrough with STEM or something, like because we said we'd have like a day to prepare like hack and like even to get a framing, is this the hatch we want, like Simon and Z and Luke, or is it going to be another hatch? Like when is the big test that we want input?
I think this is the one that we will want those guys on, but the hatch goes for a week, so like we can make sure it works the first couple of days. Because go ahead.
Sorry, the idea for me that I told Griff was to the first days or the first time of the hatch test to have it rolling and having ourselves to get familiar or like whatever, and then to invite people from Jonas Research, reach them out and tell them, hey, this is happening. Do you want to take a look? Do you want to like have questions? Like having these people who has already been talked about for them to take a look of how it could be or how it would be. So we have a feedback from them and to let them know that we are taking them in consideration too.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I can just reach out to Sam, and I don't know, Zeptimus, how late you're up, but I feel like what's really helpful is like 2 weeks ago in the last test hatch, Sam did like a little walkthrough and I just asked him questions because in the Thursday meeting, we only have like 10 minutes for him. So maybe we can record a walkthrough and then identify, like Sam's really good. He does awesome blog posts, but like then we can record that, throw it up on YouTube, but then I can try to do like condensed version or add to his document, his forum post stuff that I'm gleaning from like questions or whatever. Zep, how late are you going to be up today?
Yeah, I was speaking with him today, but yesterday I know he was a bit busy, but I don't know, I can just call him after this meeting and I let you know. So basically what you need, Sam, is for like make a blog post for today or?
Just, I was going to see if he's available after this meeting to do a walkthrough with me and whoever else wants to join where we can ask a few questions and he can show us before the call, because the call is always like he only has 10 minutes. There's so many other questions we don't have time for. And then we can kind of get ahead of it just a little bit before it goes out to everybody tomorrow.
I call him like when we finish and let's see, because I don't know like his disponibility, but normally he's online.
Okay, I'll stay on with you after.
I'm pretty sure that they're stuck on something with the hatch. So like, I'm not like, let's not like, I don't know that a walkthrough today will work. So.
Okay, so as a conclusion for this meeting, so we can say we will do the work sessions. We have sort of unified the priorities, if I'm not wrong. So we will do these work sessions. I think it's pretty clear for everyone the process now. I will see you, Jessica, in 2 hours, if I'm not wrong. Everyone who wants to join can join the work session, and then we will take it from there. Is there any doubt or any other matter that has been left out from the meeting?
So I would love to be assigned to a GitHub issue. As horrible as that is this like the forum thing, or we're going to skip the forum because we have the forum, like this is how you propose something, right? Like we already have that. So we just use that for proposers. And there's a blocker on getting some people to propose because we don't have an onboarding document.
Yeah, Livy.
I suggest we can use, I feel like the tech is not a blocker for this onboarding piece right now. Like we can explain just the basics of how conviction voting works and how people will be able to propose once the Commons is launched. But it's just why we need the proposals there right now and where are we at. I feel like we can use like that explanation I wrote for Shabnan as a base for it, of just like, hey, this is where we're coming from, this is what we did, and that's why we did this, and then that's why you're coming in right now, all of these projects. And maybe what we can focus on now is a blog post, and then that's it, like the only thing that we need, and then we can invite people to write proposals.
Well, I got a feeling that like the Academy and Jeff from Lunas Forum, I don't think that they need that blog post. Like, I don't think Angela needs it. I think she gets it. I would love if we could just at least get these two proposals on. I think Jeff already made one for OneHive, so it's almost copy paste.
Yeah, that's easy. I'm submitting it to OneHive today. So yeah, we can copy paste it. That's not an issue. I can ask Jeff to do it. But yeah, I think, okay, wait. Livy, I do think the blog post would be really good as like kind of a big overall update. That's not the praise point.
Wait, hold on. So I just want to say parallel paths. So some people keep working on that blog post. We do need it. But there's like 8 people on this call, or 12 people on this call. I bet we could like throw out, hey, who wants to talk to Angela and get her to submit a proposal, and like just work with her to get one out.
The other thing I was going to say was maybe, Livy, and Griff, to address your question, what you're saying, I think we could put a little topic inside of the proposal category explaining what you're talking about, Livy, even if it's a copy paste or whatever. That would be really useful because right now the proposals are there and it's like, hey, here's this template, but there's no context. So maybe having a forum topic introducing the proposal section. Eduardo and I are going to hack on this like onboarding thing, which can become the TLDR for the article. And as far as other people and delegating work, yeah, what else do we have besides that as a focus? If Craig can ask Craig to combine the spreadsheets.
Yeah, and like on what you both are saying, once we have, that's a good idea, that once we have like Angela's proposal, for example, that can be an example for other people, and it can be part of this blog post, even to have like Luna Swarm and Academy already there, and then people understand a little bit more the context, and then we just like go deeper on that to send to all of the new projects. And also Ruben is here, and we invited him to talk about collaborations today and partnerships, and maybe this can also still go in parallel to understand like what would be this same approach but to projects, like the same one that we're doing with people, with stakeholders. And then yeah, sorry Jess, I think I cut you.
Oh no, that's okay. The partnerships meeting is Friday, was my understanding. Partnerships kickoff was 11 a.m. on Friday PST, which included the DAO to DAO onboarding, and making it more of a like outbound payment process, or inbound, whatever. But yeah, sorry, Livy. What else? What was the other thing besides partnerships?
Just talking to to Angela. So you got the Luna Swarm, and you can own that to make a proposal. I can talk to Angela to try to get her to submit a proposal for the academy.
The
And
only issue that
yeah.
oh, sorry, it keeps cutting. The only issue that comes up is how much to request. I see being a bit of an issue. Even like for the Luna Storm, for example, we're requesting $5,000 for 1 month of work. So this could be the only issue because we haven't hatched yet. We don't know what the funding pool is. And also, like, are we encouraging people to submit a forever budget or a monthly budget? Maybe we say encourage them to submit like funding for 1 month or something. This is the only issue that is coming up for that process as well.
So actually, when we get these proposals, that will help us determine what the minimum amount we need to raise is. So I would say let it be ambiguous and let's hear what they need, because that's what we need to know too.
Well, you could just say that that's what you're trying to do. Like, in order to best determine what's going on, we're going to phrase the proposal in such, or the thing we're saying to them in such a way that they know that their input is going to shape the way things work.
Yeah, it's kind of our own potluck.
Well, it also gives people a feeling of ownership and you know that they have contributed and so on.
All right. So we're almost on time. Is there anything left?
Well, I'd be curious if anyone wants to save Livia from needing to talk to Angela, or even wants to help Livia talk to Angela about the proposal, because I know she's got a lot on her plate.
I just messaged her the other day about something. I can poke her again. I was asking her to help us do a praise giving meetup, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I missed this," but I can just poke her again. And anyway, I was thinking it'd be good to have a catch up with her because we haven't in like a few months.
All
And
right.
Shebna,
It's not that you have any less in your plate.
a few messages, and I was wanting to like sync with her anyway. But and tomorrow I have the book club with Shebnam, so I'll bring it up tomorrow with Sheb, and I have a one-on-one with her at some point next week, I think. But she said she might not submit for funding anymore because she has her own token model thing going on. So, but I'll ask her on the book club meeting.
Thank you so much. Well, if there's anything else, great. That would be our meeting for the day. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and we will speak soon again. See you in a bit, Jessica.
Bye.